Hello from Yat Dragon.com. This is Ji Sifu, and of course Mak Josie on YouTube. Okay, let me just put the instrument away. That was a very nice instrument, ancient Chinese musical instrument called Hun. A very nice sound, right? It's a very deep sound. I chose that instrument today, especially for this video or this series of videos, because we are going to talk about deep stuff. So basically, before you get into the meat of this video, let me introduce a little bit about my background in case you're new to my channel. So I have this channel called Yat Dragon, and you can actually visit the channel and take a look at my other videos, and it's really cool. What's the main topic? It's basically on magic, Chinese magic, ancient Chinese magic. So yeah, I teach this kind of stuff, the Chinese ancient Chinese magic. Yeah. So most people don't know what it is about, and some people will have an idea because they have some research or background from two different types of sources. One is that they may be exposed to the Taoist practice, because you see all these robes and hat and all that stuff, you know, it's like you can relate to Taoist, okay? And other route or another source that people can relate to is the vampire movies. So that is the Chinese vampire movies. That's right. It's kind of famous for this kind of thing. So if you are from the Chinese vampire side, basically you'll be very familiar with these things right here. This is the Fu. Yeah, they're Fu. Fu is Cantonese, okay? So these kind of things. And you see, mostly in the movies, you see people doing this. Basically, the master or whatever see a zombie or a vampire, and then they go tape one here, just like that, and then they go, oh, instantly the guy stopped moving, okay? Oh, that was cool. Yeah, that is actually not real, but everyone knows it's not real. But yeah, that is one thing that you may encounter, which is actually the most common route, okay, most well-known thing. And yes, what is this thing? This yellow piece of paper, how come it has such a strong power. Like, how come people can assume, or in their image, how come this piece of paper is so powerful? Now, in this series, I'll be talking about a lot of things that you guys might have been exposed to, like these, and I'll clarify and tell you how it is in reality in our ancient Chinese magic stuff. Okay, so this series is going to be super fun, super cool, and because it's going to be so deep, we have a little board here just so that I can write the stuff while I talk, and you guys can look at it like, not really like a lecture, though, like you have to take notes, but it's deep. So we got to have a whiteboard, to just demonstrate and write stuff. Okay, so this series is super fun. Now, just from this little intro, you already can tell that I am actually a real life magic master. Is that what you call that? Yeah, it's a very fun and very exciting thing. It's not like Harry Potter where it's fictional. This is real, okay? This is not a joke. This is not fake. This is real. Now, real magic exists just like any other culture has their magic. So why not Chinese? So, yeah, not sure if you're exposed to this, but there are other places like the shamanism, and there's the voodoo guys. A lot of different cultures have their own thing. So we're not trying to like compare their stuff to our stuff, but this is my channel. I'm just going to share you what I know and what I teach. So if you are actually interested in learning, you can email us and really learn the stuff. Now, this series is supposed to be for everyone to watch, so you don't need to be a Chinese, or you don't need any background. Now, the fun thing about this is I'm going to talk about a lot of Chinese terms, and these terms are often very confusing for the Westerners, and they don't know what this thing really is. So with this series, it will clear up a lot of those little confusions or little questions in your mind. Okay, so let's get going. Now today, since we not open, but we started this video with the fu, the yellow piece of paper, let's talk about what is this fu. Okay, so let's choose a marker today. You guys can choose blue. Okay, blue. Okay, what's so cool about these robes is, you see, we have a long big sleeve, and we can now dump the markers in there. So really nice design, look at that. Okay, so fu. Okay, let's talk about fu today. Fu here. Fu. F-U. Okay? F-U. Fu. This is the character. Okay? Now, this is the character of fu. Now, what is fu really? Does it have to be really that piece of paper? Well, it doesn't really have to be that paper. There can be many kind of fu in the world. Like every culture can have their own fu, or fu something. Okay, fu itself. Okay, this fu itself can be an adjective, can be a noun. It doesn't really have to be like that paper. It can be many things. Now let me talk about what this is really about. Okay, what this thing really means. What it means is that from there are two parties. Okay, two sides. One is the proactive side, and one is the responsive side, like being affected. Okay, so for example, I am going to move this pen or marker. Okay, I am the proactive. I am the side that start the action. Okay, so I start this action and move. This marker is the responsive side, being moved. Okay, being moved. You can say it's passive, but it's not really passive. So it's the side that got affected or got moved. Okay, this side is the side that start the action. Okay, so this, what does it mean? Okay, it means that, okay, if you actually do split this word in half, we can explain it very well. Okay, we need a different color. Green. Let's split this in half. Can you really see that on the camera? Not sure if you can see it. Okay, so now I'm going to use my other powerful color right here. Okay, now let's split this thing in half. Okay, so each of these have one symbol like that, like a K. Okay, and this guy has this, and this guy has this. Okay, so we split the word in half, and right now you can basically see that we have two halves. This half right here is the it's the side that got moved, like to move first. Okay, so this is the proactive side. Proactive. Okay, this is the responsive side. Okay, so the side of the proactive side, what does it do first? For example, like let's say me and the marker. Okay, so I am the proactive side. The marker is the responsive side. What I am doing first, right here, okay, the top right here, the top, this top right here, okay, this is the first, this is the top third, which is supposed to relate to the element that is being taken into action, the elements or the intention and stuff like that, like the capital or the initial starting thing that makes this whole thing start, the whole action start. Now this little symbol here, okay, is meaning that from my side, okay, from my side, I am outputting my elements, my intention, my element, and then my elements, the moving power, the motivation, the intention goes to the other side, and then it creates the potential of a result to the other side. Now this side, the other side, the responsive side, also has the same symbol right here, which means when I am doing this, the other side can also do that with the same thing. So for example, let's say there is a stop sign, like the road sign. Okay, now the road sign can be a kind of fool to us already, because the road sign itself, the proactive side, put the road sign there. The drivers or any bypassing, like bypassing people, whatever, the people who are walking by will also know the elements and what to do and how to end, like what's the final result to stop, right? So this side can output the element to the other side and make the other side do and create a result that the proactive side wants. So a fool, the first stage is to have something, okay, that you are outputting some kind of element that can make the other side do something and have something finish or result as something that the proactive side also wants or intended to do. Now, this side here is the doing and the result line. Okay, this word right here now, okay, this is the, now if we split the word in three parts, this is actually the 2/3. We can count that as one right now, okay, one part. Now this part here, okay, means from the proactive side right here has output and given the element, and this element through a medium will transfer and execute down, okay, to give to the responsive side. Now this element is now transferred and inherited or give to the responsive side. The responsive side got that. The responsive side then get the action to be done and execute the action to the targeted result, and then store in element of the action. Which means, okay, let's do a little simpler version. It means that from the proactive side, for example, I am the proactive side, okay? So I output my elements to the other side. The other side will get my message, get my intention or whatever that is, okay? Get that, and then they will execute an action which is to the targeted endpoint, the result that I wish the endpoint to be. Okay, and then after that, they then store or they then input the element into their action. It's like this, okay, the stop sign theory again, okay? So which means when the stop sign is the proactive thing, okay, the stop sign is a fool, proactive. People who see the stop sign get the elements of the stop sign, meaning the physical element and also the hidden message inside the stop sign, and then this message get transferred to the viewer, okay, which is when you look at the stop sign, the element that got transferred is the visuals of the stop sign, the color, the message and all that, okay, transfer to you when you're looking at it. And then you then execute and do whatever that stop sign tells you to do, to stop. And then you infuse or you plant your element there and not otherwhere. So what you're doing is you then do really execute the action as the stop sign said, which is to stop, and so you stand. Okay? You stop is the intention. You have not done anything yet. But when you really stand or stop the car, that is the element that is input from you, which is from the last dot. Now, that is kind of fun, but complicated and kind of like brain frying for some people because this is complex. But every Chinese character can be decoded using a grid like this. This grid is one of the secret of how one of the secret of how these things are supposed to work and operate. Like why we choose this word, why we use this word and not that word. Why is this called thunder? Why is this not called whatever other word? Well, it's all decoded like this. Now, as you can see, okay, fu, this word itself does not have to be a piece of paper. It can be many things. It can be even just a picture. As long as the picture can execute the same pattern and do whatever this whole thing is talking about, then it can be classified as a fu. Now, a fu can be a sound. It doesn't have to be a visual. It can be a sound. It can be a smell. It can be other kind of things. It can be anything. A fu can also be just intention. A fu can be many things. It can be an object. It can be a cup. It can be anything. As long as that object can do something and transfer its element, its action and the action final result to the other side and make the other side also execute the same thing, and then you that proactive side, the fu, can transfer its element to the other side and make the other side also do whatever this side intended or want it to do. So basically, a fu can be many things. It doesn't have to be just that. But now, as you can see, why Why these are called fu? It's because with these things that are being infused into the whole piece of thing, the paper, the fu, okay, there are many things infused, many elements. There are many energies and other things that is done on the same piece, like on this piece of paper. It's not just writing it, but there are actually a lot of magic to be done on this paper. And when we use it on other subjects or like things or matter or place, whatever, okay, then what it does is it transfer whatever we infused into the fu, including our intention, our magic power, our energies, all that stuff. It transfer to the other side, and then aggressively, or you can't say aggressively, but it's like, and then you make the other element to execute or to get into an action and create a result that you intended it to create. It's like a command, or it's like a piece of paper that can make other things do whatever you want it to do. Of course, you cannot say, okay, turn left and then put a fu there, and then the guy go, ooh. It's not like that, okay? But with this, we can work around with energies. And that's why you see the kind of image in normal people's eyes, when you look at the vampire movies and stuff, you see the master take one of these and tape it on the forehead of the vampire, and the vampire have to stop. It is a form of showing fu, which is like, okay, I want this to move and to have a result as I want it to be, to do. And then so the fu is to stop the vampire. Tape is stop. That is a fu. Now, if the fu is not doing or not having any effect when it's used, like let's say if the fu is supposed to stop the vampire, but the vampire didn't stop, you tape it there, the vampire can do and then keep going. So that means the fu does not have power, or we can say the fu is subtling. Subtling means to is not responding, it's not responsive, it's not effective anymore. So the fu, these real fu, is supposed to do something to make things change and do or execute an action to have a certain result that we intended it to be. For example, again, let's say for a more realistic example, if the fu is supposed to help you get rid of a spirit that is bugging you or haunting your house, after using the fu, the spirit will be whatever, dead or gone, whatever. It's not supposed to be there anymore. So after you use it, it's supposed to be gone, like that, okay? So that's right, it's supposed to be like this, and it's like a piece of paper, but inside the piece of paper, you have to infuse your element. If there's no element that can be transferred out to other things, then it's not a fu. So it got to have this property in it to be called a fu. Now, basically, as you can see, it's super complex with the Chinese character, but today, at least, we can take a look at this and understand that every word can be actually chopped up into different parts, and there's a little grid system that can explain every Chinese word. Now, I'm trying to make this video short, so let's end here, and in the next video or our other videos in this series, we'll be talking about more Chinese words and how to chop them up, and let's see how to decode them. Okay, so see you next time. Remember to subscribe and like. Bye-bye!